Hello and happy Catterday, you guys. I haven't covered a video in a few days. I don't know, a couple days, a few days, whatever. But this one comes from Foodie Beauty, which is a channel that I've used for base content for quite some time now. Um, and this is a good summarization of the crap that Foodie put out the other day on her live. So let's go.
Yeah, we're okay. The thumbnail is royal, carefree, methadone. It's such clickbait. Yeah, I've been sick, guys. Like, I've been really sick. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's always been sick, you guys. Hang on. Okay, sorry. There's a lot of dog walkers out this morning. So this is the thumbnail that she selected for her live stream, if I remember correctly. And it is a picture of her. Well, I think it's been altered somewhat so that it's transformative, right? But it's a picture of her in the Syrian hospital, which has dirty walls. She's got an IV in. She's getting rehydrated. So, and she obviously is still as large as she is, popping out of her dress.
Well, I'm just keeping the camera off so that the live stream will work. It takes less bandwidth. So for today, guys, while I'm in this area, I'm in rural Syria right now. We're in the middle of moving, so we're staying with people we know until the house is ready in a few days. I know, I don't like the camera off either. You know, I like showing you my mug. So yeah, I'll tell you the story about that.
Yeah, let's hear the story about that. So basically, it sounds like they rented this other apartment for a 1 month lease. And they had to be out by the 1st. So now they are staying with either friends or relatives that Salah knows. And that's probably where the girl comes from that she tried to exploit for donations. And then she mysteriously has a hospital beeze because historically, when she screwed up online, she's like, oh, pity me. I had to go to the hospital for XYZ reasons, right? So here we go.
We're moving into Salah's home. Well, guys, I was sick. Super sick. So remember I told you that picture is even from like I weighed myself. I lost like 5 kgs, but it's probably all gonna come back because
Well, I don't know if he lost weight or not. I mean, how can you tell? 11 pounds on a body like that is like nothing. Let's be real. But also, you have not sounded sick in any of the material you've done this week. And granted, you're not saying that you had something that would affect like your breathing or your throat, right? So it wouldn't affect your speech. But generally, even still, if you have some sort of stomach gastrointestinal type problem, you're still going to sound down. You're going to sound weak. And you're perky as fuck, girl.
been really sick, you know. I'm like, oh no, hi Lily, I have to ERBs in like every country I go. But this is not diabetes related this time or anything like that. It was literally just, I don't
No, it was allegedly entirely diabetes related because the story she's going to tell us is completely fake from what I can tell based on what she's saying. And it's easy enough for her to be seen because she has uncontrollable type 2 diabetes, and so they will take care of her if she goes in.
know if it was food poisoning. Okay, so what happened was we had to remember we made that Uzi and I did the video for it. So we show up for dinner. Now while we're making, now we had to go pick up the meat, and the meat was hanging in a window. And I thought, I wonder if my stomach. Listen, okay, if you're from another country and you're not used to the bacteria in a foreign country, things can get bad. All right. So I thought, okay, it's probably okay because people eat this meat every day, right? Not me. I don't eat it every day. So, but the thing is, I don't think it was food related because I was thinking E. coli. That's how sick I was.
I don't think it was food related, you guys. First of all, most people who travel to developing nations will get the proper inoculations before they actually travel. But she was basically, based on her own eyewitness account of what happened, smuggled into the country. Right? She did not have a visa, and she more than likely did not get whatever is required for international travel in regards to vaccinations. But to say that, some meat in a window is going to poison you, I would point to Fuddruckers, you guys. Like, we used to have a Fuddruckers out here, and they had several cow carcasses hanging out there for display in a refrigerated room as you entered the restaurant to get your burgers. So I don't know what to tell you, Foodie, but it sounds like the meat was not the problem, and I highly doubt anybody else really got sick. Period. If they did, it's because you're not boiling the water properly. You're not cleansing that water. And if you're drinking tap water in a foreign country that is developing, I mean, it's like Mexico, right, you guys? Like, throughout my entire life, I was always told, don't drink the water when you go to Mexico.
Because the lady, Noor, who was cooking, the meat boiled, you're right, it would have killed it. You're right. So it's not the food. It was some kind of bug because basically Noor started to feel ill while she was cooking. I noticed she didn't really have the energy, and she said, I don't feel very well. And then shortly after eating, she has young children. One of her children vomited.
I don't think that happened.
For the next 4 weeks, make it a habit.
After eating, she has young children. One of her children vomited, and then the other one started to feel sick. And then her sister became ill that night. And then the next day, I was feeling very, very ill. Now, I never actually vomited, but the other issue, were 10, 20.
So you didn't vomit. They did. You needed a hospital visit. They didn't. Are we all up to speed right now, you guys?
Like a million times a day, just constant. It's awful. And I felt like I was going to, really bad nausea, dizzy. I just felt dehydrated. But I don't think there's any pork here. I think it's, maybe, I don't know. I don't think so, though. I didn't really have a lot of food in the house, but anyway, and we had to move, and I was every day was getting worse. I was worse sick. They have the meat chicken out in the sun for hours, and people still buy it. Be careful. Yeah, right? The squatty toilet. So I'm still not I'm on a ton of medication for, basically, I have a pretty bad intestinal tract infection. So I have to be on meds for that. No accidents like that. Don't worry about it. Anyways.
That's debatable, you guys. Especially based on some of the other things that she says about her condition. The reality is that she could easily have been admitted based on her blood sugar reading and based on her morbidly obese condition. But at the end of the day, she is a privileged white Canadian throwing her money at all these people who don't want her there, and she is a drain on public resources.
Well, no, yeah, I didn't eat for like 4 days. I just started eating slowly. It's a medication that's called, I'm on an antibiotic and something called nifurocazide diafuryl. And
by the way, she also likes to steal the health conditions of React channels. And if you guys have been following me for a long time, I was hospitalized at the end of January for not being able to eat for about a month. It wasn't just 4 days, Chantel, it was a month. And when you don't eat for that long, you start losing nutrients. So it totally fucked with my blood reading, right? Low potassium, anemia, edema. I had all kinds of shit going on with me at that point because I would get in this cycle of throwing up and not being able to stop. She left that part out. She's like, oh no, I didn't throw up. Really? You didn't throw up, but you couldn't eat for 4 days. And you're going to tell us that you were nauseated? You were experiencing... How so? How did you get through 4 days feeling nauseated and not throwing up? Please explain how this worked.
Apparently I had a little bit of a UTI as well. I think that's what the antibiotics are for. So anyway.
The UTI could happen from the fact that she is probably having kidney failure, or it could be incontinence. That'll cause it too, because she's unable to keep herself clean and dry, right? Most women experience a UTI when they have a new partner, because you're getting used to the different bacteria of your new partner, right? So it can have, or if you have like an allergy to condoms, to the what is it, silicone or something? If you have an allergy to condoms, that can also cause a UTI. But generally it happens from something that's wrong with your internal organs, or, which this is combined with problems with your internal organs, you're experiencing incontinence and you're unable to keep yourself clean and dry.
Yeah, I know. You know I'm sick when I don't eat. No, I couldn't. Oh my gosh. I was really ill, man. I mean, I ate little bites of things here and there, but I couldn't eat, like, no.
Well, then you did eat, right? If you were able to eat little bites here and there, then you're lying to us. Because people who are actually going through something like that, where they can't stop throwing up, and you obviously said you weren't even vomiting, right? But you lost weight, said you couldn't eat. Are you sure this wasn't a stress-induced episode because you got called out so severely for what you did to that little girl?
No, they have Western toilets most places. But you have to say, like, do you have a Western toilet somewhere? At least in the hospital, because it's older. Dysentery? What is that? My stomach. So the people who were sick, they got over it in 2 days. They're probably used to that bacteria. Me? No. So 5 days. And now I'm on meds. Anyway, I went to a doctor the other day.
You said they threw up, but you didn't. So who's used to this bacteria? Exactly.
And worked like out of his house. And yeah, I went to an actual doctor, and he was actually really like, he just like basically, you know, wrote up everything. He was really nice, wrote up everything, sent me to the hospital for...
Do, 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 do. This is why nobody trusts Chantel. It's like she dips into her memories of childhood shows. This sounds very Little House on the Prairie, doesn't it, you guys?
IV hydration and stuff like that, and this is what it's for. This pill, diaphragm, it says for on the box. Yeah, for like intestinal, you know, bad infections of the intestines and stuff.
Okay, tell me why.
Infections of the intestines and stuff. I know I need probiotics. They were urging me to eat yogurt, but I don't feel like I can stomach that right now. Like, I don't feel like eating yogurt. Maybe it's because the day I got sick, I was eating that yogurt, even though it's not the cause. I don't know. Western harsh chemical. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, you know, they do what they can here. You know, obviously, I'm not. Listen, okay. We all know Canada has so many better things. All right. Yes, we know that. I do miss a lot of those things sometimes. I'm not going. You know, just stick to water.
Well, I thought that Salah said that Syria has the best health care in the world. What happened to that storyline, huh, girl?
No, it's not the toe job doctor. Yeah, dry toast.
I think you mean podiatrist, right? The toe job doctor? Okay.
Well, basically, they do what they can, and, you know, but they obviously the hospital's not, as you can see from the thumbnail, at all the same, obviously. But, yogurt. Yeah, Crystal, I know. That's another thing. Right away when I told him some of my symptoms, even before he got to the testing about the flu, he said, I think you're going to need to go back on insulin. So, I have to go see him in a week, but I'll get a lot of message about that.
See, she's talking about being treated for a diabetic episode, not for being treated for food poisoning, which is essentially what she implied happened with that family.
Because he didn't mention that. I think he wants me, I don't know, but he tested my sugar, and he said, I'll test your sugar and see if you need to go back on insulin. And he never told me I need to go back on insulin, so maybe I don't. I don't know. C. diff. Sure. Hey, normal set. No, it doesn't feel like that at all. It's like, I've had that before. That was like 100 times worse than what I have now. This just, I don't know, feels like a stomach flu, but like, it's awful anyway. So, yay, my first illness in Syria, and I hope it's the last. Because I don't want to go. So basically, like, they had to, I don't have C. diff right now. But I had...
You heard that. I don't want to go. This is her exit strategy, you guys. This is her exit strategy. She is not enjoying herself. She's in a bad situation. She made a bad decision. So all she has to do is say, my health is so severe that I really need to go back to Canada. Right? Right, Chantel?
C. diff before when I got it from the hospital. Usually when you go stay in the hospital, you can get that very easily, unfortunately.
I suppose it's possible to catch things in the hospital. I never have. And even when we were going through like severe shit, like MERS and COVID and, you know, various things that were going around, I wore a mask in the waiting room. You know, they don't unmask you until you're in your own private quarters, basically. How are you catching shit in the hospital?
I'm going to follow up for sure, yeah. I'm going to ask him to follow up with that for sure, go see, because, yeah. The thing is Salah didn't get sick at all. Barbecue beef. Lily, you don't want to know. Why do I tell you guys these things? Why would I say that? Why? Lish. Why would I say barbecue sauce? I'm such an idiot. Like, I'm so gross sometimes. Well, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, she, after one of her other health episodes, said that her urine smelled like barbecue sauce. So that's getting brought up right now.
No, why would they do that? Really? Scream. Ozempic bees? I don't know, bees or bite, but anyways. So I'm just resting and taking it easy because I'm starting to feel, I'm feeling way better than I was, but I still queasy and it's like barbecue sauce.
Ugh.
But I still queasy and it's like barbecue sauce. No, that was when I had my kidney infection. It's not like that, but it's, no, it's not like that. Was bad. No, I didn't see that, Breezy's. I didn't even check around YouTube in forever. I don't know, Lisa.
I'm sorry, if you don't have a kidney infection today, then tell us what the cause of your UTI was.
I didn't stay in the hospital. Basically, I just went there and there was one small AC unit in the main office, and that's where you got to go to, like, so I sat there. I'm like, can I just stay here for like a minute and just like sit in the AC? Because the rest of the hospital didn't have any. I was like, I feel so bad. I know, like, people here probably don't really give a crap about AC like we do. And, you can't miss something you've never.
Wow, I cannot. She literally took up time and resources away from this hospital because they probably have to have a generator in case they do lose power, right? So they're not going to have a power outage like the rest of the country. And she's like, oh, I just need the AC. God damn, you're a selfish bitch.
Honestly, you can't. But basically they had to put in a IV line, okay, in my hand. I changed, Min's wife.
Why is that a problem? I found that having the IV in my hand was much more convenient because the first time I was hospitalized, they put it in my elbow area, inside of the arm. And I could not get my earrings out, and they wanted me to remove all of my jewelry so that I could get an MRI. If it had been in my hand, I could have done that.
They have insulin, yeah. He's like, yeah, we have insulin. He looked at me like I was stupid. I never heard of that. No, Kit Kat, it's, no. But I would say the Kuwait one is not that much better, honestly, to be honest. It makes the ER in Ottawa, like...
She had to pay cash for this, but because their currency has, like, no value, it would have been super cheap for her to even do this in Syria. It's not like she's going to an American ER to get this done. She's taking away resources in an area where the Druze are getting exterminated by the Syrian government. Chantel.
Look like a palace, but I'm not going to make, bad comments about it because, that's the reality. That's how they live. It's not by choice, doing hospital reviews. Hey, Winston. So I thought it was a bit weird, but the nurses were like, I guess it's custom here. They can, instead of waiting an hour for the IV drip, they gave me something to stop, he gave me an ultrasound and there was some swelling in my stomach, I guess, lining or something. I don't know. So they gave.
The ultrasound is the first step when they're looking for organ failure. They've done this to me as well. They have never found organ failure on me, but that's the first thing they look for is there swelling. if there's swelling, then they're going to start doing things like a CT scan and an MRI. All of this was done on me, and there was no evidence that I'm having organ failure.
Me something through IV that was going to stop that and help with bacteria in my stomach, and then they gave me hydration fluid, and that would have taken an hour. So they said, "Okay, go home." I'm like, "Go home? What?"
Saline, hydration fluid. Well, did they give you something extra above and beyond saline? Were they giving you some sort of nutrient packet on top of that? I mean, they did for me, but like, I you can't even describe like your experience all that well. I mean, they gave me so much shit, I couldn't even keep track of all of it. In fact, I just had a doctor's appointment earlier this week, and she reminded me that I had a blood transfusion when I was in the hospital. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's right. The first night I had a blood transfusion, and they took more blood out of me than they gave back.
I'm not going home. I'm staying here. Like, what if it doesn't work? I know it's going to stop working. Hi, guys. Sorry about that. It might cut in and out.
Does that look like somebody who lost 11 pounds? Does she look like she's lost 11 pounds, you guys? She looks just as puffy as always. This woman has not lost weight.
Okay. Anyways, so we find a hook to put the IV, because we don't have an IV pole, so you gotta compromise. And, hey, Nicole. Hey, Liz Fairy. Oh, hold on. I gotta turn it off because it's gonna,
What was up with the lip licking? What's going on there?
And, so go home, take the IV. Hi, Carefree. Sure enough, it's not dripping, okay? Hey, Matchboo, 65.
Dutch snack taste.
Sure enough, it's not dripping, okay? Hey, Matchboo, 65. Well, yes, my type 2 is not managed well, obviously. So, yeah, you guys, I know you guys were right about that. I have to follow up with that, because I went to the hospital to get my sugar tested and then some other tests, and like urinalysis and everything. So no drip. So we have to go back. Like, no choice. The IV thing was out of my hand. Like, it was the vein. It was out of the vein.
But you went to the hospital to get your sugar tested and get a urinalysis. You did not go because of food poisoning. So the whole story, like, she can't even keep it straight for one live stream. This lasted less than an hour that she went on about this, and she couldn't even keep her story straight for that amount of time.
So they set up another one in my other hand, and I just stayed there. So it took a while, but anyways, did Willy Wonka buy your blood? That's a good one. That's actually a good one. No, they did the IV at the hospital, taped it, and then, hey, Val, a cannula? What is that? Oh, yeah, the cannula came out. You know that long thing that goes in your vein? But you know what? Syria Hospital, I will say, is the only place where they've only had to they found my vein every single time. No, and like, my veins are so hard to find, and especially when you're dehydrated. They just checked my hand. Okay, here we go. Do you know how many nurses it took at the Ottawa ER to find my veins? So I know I told Salah that. I said,
whatever, girl. Usually if you have veins that are hard to find, they'll just use one of those butterfly devices, but okay.
They don't usually ever send people home. But when you think about it, what they usually do is they send people home on IV sometimes, and a nurse will come do it. But I said, so who's going to take the IV out? And someone here was like, that's easy, no problem. And I guess it is. You just take it out, but you got to put pressure. I don't know. It's obviously not like the West, obviously, but you know what? It seems to have got the job done because I'm on the mend. So, thank God for that. Is it buffering? It's going to buffer sometimes. Your veins are loud and proud, YouTube lover. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Thank you, Belle. It's okay. I'm keeping... Okay, guys, I'm sorry. The internet is really not good. Not good. Anyways, a health arc beeze. Well, I feel like yeah, for sure, definitely, yes. But, I feel like I was starting to eat way too
She'll be mukbanging within a couple of days, you guys.
much KFG. So moving away from KFG will be nice. So yeah, I've been eating diabetes accountability for it's August 1st. No, Maggie, it's gonna be a while, before anything happens. Hey, Meller, before they can rebuild this country, and I don't know if they're gonna get, hey, Vulgar. I'm not losing my life. What you're asking me, I don't have to do this. And I know I don't. It's just that the Survivor shows, my cat and my husband are here, and the people, we've come to know Salah's
My cat and my husband. Priorities, you guys.
family also. They're like family now, and yeah, it's inshallah, it's not going to be forever, okay? This is like a time where I'm I do, because I'm so spoiled, I feel like, do you guys find that, do you guys feel like, look at some of my Kirsch? What do you think? But I should be sick more often. I'm just joking. So I hope that things improve for Syria. I do. But they didn't weigh me. I weighed myself today. I lost 5 kg since being sick. I've lost a lot. Yeah.
No, you didn't lose shit. You didn't lose anything.
I know, it's the sweating every single day. I've been eating, I haven't been eating. I really haven't. So I got to be careful, because today's the first time I had some breakfast. I had, yeah. Well, that's the thing, Jen. I find in that picture I look big, bigger. But then today I was just maybe water weight, I don't know. So, 5 kg, I don't know, 10 pounds. It should be black, yeah, because the internet, Swag.
So what did you have for breakfast, girly girl? I could tell you what I had for breakfast this morning. I had an onion bagel with cream cheese. It was the onion and chives cream cheese. And I had capers, some red onion, some avocado, and some smoked salmon. That was my breakfast. Xylee went to Dunkin' Donuts because she's hot on your tail. She's hot on your tail, Chantel. Has decided that she wants to plump right back up again because she thinks she looked better, bigger. And she also is developing on a hump, and you could see how her body is affected by it. Her shoulders are practically up to her ears at all points in time now. So if you guys want to watch an interesting arc, Xylee's been placed on cafe, but every night on Rewind, she talks trash about cafe. Every single goddamn night, Xylee. And then comes to cafe the next morning and expects that she's not going to get shit from the audience. Right, Xylee? We're all supposed to be like, oh, yes, welcome aboard, Xylee. It's so nice to see you. After you've talked all this shit about the show that you're on. Okay. There's that. By the way, she keeps calling my name out. She reads my comments. Amazing Maisie. And then she'll go into, I don't read the comments. I don't give people attention. I don't say their names because I know that's what they want. Well, first of all, I don't want it. I expect that as a gray name that you're not going to bother with me. But okay. Hilarious that I am the one that gets under her skin.
Daddy, yeah, I know, right? No, look at it. Like, it used to be, this used to be, like, I would have, you would see my roles in this. The Timu shirt, I don't know if I ever showed you guys, but it's way back. It used to be, you know? But it might be the, you know, I'm still obviously very big, but there is some de-bloating, you know? I noticed in this shirt. Yeah. I know it's not possible. It's just, like, probably water weight and stuff, yeah. You always lose 5 to 10, I know. But anyways, I don't care. I just want to get, like, I just want to feel better and healthy. And
when you lose weight over an illness, you'll generally see it in the person's face. That's what I've noticed when I've been seriously ill, is that my cheekbones start to protrude, whatever, however you say it. But I've had that happen a couple of times. Once when I had laryngitis, and then this year, while I've been going, like, recovering from that hospital visit in January.
the Thailand shirt? Which one? Oh, the green one? Yeah, I'm on metformin. See, this is... Yeah, I'm on metformin. You know? I don't know, Maggie. I know, I returned most of the Temu stuff because it didn't fit, except for this shirt, I think. I look happy. I look like crap, but I feel like crap. Hey, Ruby. It's easier to keep up the momentum after a good start. You know what it is? It just clears your system out. A few days of not eating and getting rid of everything in your body, you know? Sometimes, yeah, it does. Hey, Crispy. Thank you, Vulgar. I know, that's what my family was saying. Like, you have to still eat, but I wasn't able to, you know? Well, I know.
You know, what's interesting, too, is Xylee said today that she's on Ozempic and that she was approved for it because she's a type 2 diabetic as well. And that was actually the original intention for Ozempic, was to treat diabetes. But then Hollywood discovered it and started buying it up off the shelves and causing the price of that drug to skyrocket. So now things like metformin, what Foodie is talking about, are more commonly prescribed than Ozempic. That would not be considered in plan, which makes me wonder if Xylee was not on anything to treat her diabetes. And that's why she got Ozempic, because when Candy, Hungry Fat Chick, tried to get Ozempic, she was denied because she was already on metformin.
Oh, I know. You know? How can you have a YouTube career there? Well, it just depends. How do people know how much I make, Kaya? That's creepy. No, I wouldn't say that. No, I don't. It's never the same, Kaya. Yeah, whatever. Hey, 13. Can you answer my Survivor show question? Oh, once we're all settled in and everything, don't worry, okay? We will, hey, CP, I was sick. Oh, my RPM. People actually, wait, you would have to do a lot. You would have to do a lot of calculation to figure that out, wouldn't you? Like go through my views and everything? I think that's just by views, isn't it? That doesn't include memberships and everything.
I don't know. I don't know what tools they use, Chantel, to try and determine the value of a channel and what you're bringing in. Basically, all I look at is, are you getting viewership? You know, when you go live, how many people are watching you on your live stream? And then what do your replay numbers look like? That's all I'm looking at. I'm not assigning a dollar value to it because I know that you're right. YouTube has variables involved with their payment. But the basics of it are the basic math. Can you get people to watch your content? That's the basic math. Because that'll tell you whether or not you're going to even qualify for AdSense, right?
Plus I get cameos, plus I get, but no, it's not always the same amount. It's not always the same. Oh. Anyway, I don't really care, whatever. Yes, we moved out of the place that we were in. So, it doesn't include membership, super chats, or cameos, yeah. No, that's right. Not every video gets 14K. Yeah. OF. Oh, I would never. I regret that, but whatever. What's done is done. You can't change the past.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, we won't be showing the new house. It's probably not wise. But, no, 8K, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you guys what I make, but it's just not consistent when you're a YouTuber. That I can confirm. We're not at Salah's house right now. No, we're staying in between. Like he needs to set up everything, like set up the solar. Actually, things are just still in transition, but I miss Kevin. No.
Okay, so the feed cuts off there. Well, I would say this. If doing YouTube is your actual job, that is where you make your income. And you're saying, sorry, I'm not going to show you anything. I'm not going to talk to you about anything. When I feel like it, I might give you a health update, but I'm not going to be consistent on that. And I might rage out at you if you ask me questions. This is all historically true with Chantel. There is no consistency with what she is doing with her channel. Her views are severely down. So I imagine that whatever she's getting is residual income from previous videos. You know, things that come up in people's searches from before. But she has hidden a lot of her best material, her highest grossing videos, because of this particular arc where she is cosplaying as a Muslim. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, I would say check out this weird shit going on with Xylee. Because I think she's finally going to get called out on her two-faced bullshit. I'm going to shit on shows while I'm with Billy on Rewind. And then I'm going to act like the best friend. Their best friend. When I'm there in the... She literally photobombs people's success. She photobombed Cafe when they had a successful Saturday stream that got them 500 new members. She showed up right when they earned it. Had nothing to do with that success, and in fact had been talking trash about them for weeks. Same with Nightmare and Yo Mama. She is now trying to claim that she is responsible for the magic of that partnership. Who the fuck takes staffing advice from Xylee? You were literally suggesting Thick Gemini the other day. And you can't point to Billy and say, well, he was doing the same thing. Because I would say the same thing about him. That who the fuck would take staffing advice from Billy? But you know what Billy doesn't do? He doesn't then go onto the show and try and take credit for it. She quite literally photobombed Boogie taking a photo on the damaged table during the July 4th party. Why? Why were you in the background of that photo, Xylee? Like, what are you doing with your life? For fuck's sake. Oh my God. But you know what? Yes, you can keep telling people that you don't say the name of people who are leaving critical comments and then keep saying my name. Say it over and over again. I don't care if you want to ignore me. That's great. Fine by me. I don't need your attention. I don't need your shout outs. I do this for fun. I don't do this as a job. But if it was my job, I would wake up and show up on time. Anyway, I'll drop you guys the links. The link to Looney Foodie Beauty's video. Please like the original content, subscribe to the channel, and if you like my feedback, please like my video and subscribe to my channel as well. And I hope you all have a great Saturday. Take care, and maybe I'll be back later. I don't know. Probably not, but I'm just being real with you guys. I'm probably not coming back today. But I'll be back if like something dramatic happens, shall we say. All right, take care.